Attention! This Bleach chapter contains a level 10 Kenpachi Zaraki badass moment. For those of you not aware of what to do during such a situation, keep calm, put your head between your legs, and kiss your ass goodbye. Holy shit, he's gonna kill us all! Look at that freaking sword!
Dude, hurry up and stabilize it! We're all gonna freaking die! Yes, I know I have to stabilize it! Thanks for the input! Computer stuff, typing. Okay, oh, screw it, man. Rad Tekking number 5, signing out! Okay, and fingers crossed! Oh, thank you. Oh, man. That was scary. Oh, man. Whew. Okay, right now the fandom is holding, but I don't know how long it's gonna last, man. All I have to say is you better do a damn good video this week. Oh, seriously though, what did you expect? First with that spiky-haired ninja turning into a god, and now with the Kenpachi Zanpakuto. No wonder the fandom nearly imploded on itself. I'll give it my all, I guess, if my life depends on it. Here we go. Alright, so, hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 577, entitled Blade, or Sword, depending on the way you read it. Anyway, the chapter starts off with Gremmy's massive freaking meteorite heading straight for the Seirete, as all the Stern Raiders and Shinigami alike look on with awe at exactly what, I would imagine they're just, like, seeing their life flashing before their eyes, because this is the last thing, and it's even stated by the Stern Raiders, this was the last thing even they were expecting Gremmy to do. We have Basby standing on top of a freaking building, watching the freaking thing crash down, like Armageddon style, you know, and he's just like, is that a freaking joke, Gremmy? Seriously? We have Pepe from last chapter, we have some random Stern Raider soldiers, we have Shinigami, we have Askin, who's even having a little bead of sweat, and he's looking up, and he's just like, someone should have beat the shit out of that guy while they had the chance, because this is going overboard, really. And then, you know, it's kind of really funny because the Shinigami have like a little bit of glimmer of hope for a second. They're like looking up and they're just like, wait a second, we have that Seki barrier thing that's surrounding the entire Seirete. I mean, hey, it did absolutely nothing to hinder the Quincy's first invasion, and it also didn't do anything to prevent the entire Seirete being washed over by the Vandenreich, but maybe this time it'll be able to stop a giant meteor the size of North Carolina crashing into the freaking Vandente going at Mach 1. And hey, surprise, surprise, the Seki barrier did jack diddly. Pop the thing like it was a freaking soap bubble. You know, I really feel bad for the Shinigami for this whole, you know, mindfuckery of the Quincy invasion. Because this is a society that has been literally brought up on a certain set of rules for how the Seirete has operated for hundreds of years. I can totally imagine them flashing back to their time at the freaking Soul Academy, and they're sitting there in the history of you know, Shinigami 101 or whatever, and the teachers saying, and then the Seki barrier was erected, and therefore it could never be pierced no matter by what entity, because it can absorb spiritual pressure. And you just know some Biff Tannen type dude in the back of the room raised his hand. He's just like, I bet I could break it with my fist. And the teacher's just like, 50 lashes for that boy. And, you know, they're joking about it like they can't break it. And then the Quincy's invade, and it's just like, oh, well, all the tactics we learned, all the different military strategies, all the defensive barricades we set up means absolutely nothing anymore. Anyway, the funniest part of the chapter, for me anyway, is when we cut back to the Silburn or the Quincy Ice Palace, where we actually get to see Hashwolf actually very nervous. Okay, let me tell you something, okay? When you make this stoic, bland Quincy express any kind of expression that's like indicating duress of any kind, you know that shit just got real, because the entire time in this series, I don't think we've seen Hashwolf express any serious kind of like, oh man, I'm seriously screwed now, or oh man, this guy might actually be able to beat me. He didn't even show any kind of duress in the face of Yamamoto's fucking Bankai. Fought against Ichigo, didn't bat an eyelash. Had the whole deal with Shunsui and Nanao's barrier, didn't even twitch, didn't even care. You know, this one, he's like staring up at this, he's like, holy crap, protect his freaking highness! And yeah, I'm completely sure that a bunch of random Quincy foot soldiers are going to be able to protect Yuha from this massive death ball. I mean, I can imagine, like, he's like, hurry up, let's get 100, no, 1,000 foot soldiers, let's make a giant dome of Quincy's, so when the meteor hits, maybe it'll cushion the impact for Yuha a little bit. And we see Yuha in this chapter, but we don't exactly see him make any kind of expression, we just see the back of his head, and even though we don't get to see what his face looks like, I can imagine right now he's probably thinking to himself, why the hell did I give my power to literally imagine anything into existence to a 12-year-old kid with bipolar disorder? Probably not one of the better moves I've ever made as a king. Oh, well, at least I'm still better than Joffrey. There's your obligatory Game of Thrones reference for this video. Although I will bring up one little thing here that's kind of people have been bringing it up for the past couple of chapters, you know, because it's such a glaring issue. Ichigo! Yeah, where's this guy at that's supposed to be showing up and rescuing the entire Seirete? The title of the chapter he was in last, 555, was literally The Hero. Oh yeah, surely Bruce Willis level heroism going on right here when he's coming down and saving the entire Seirete from being crushed. Literally just crushed, killing everybody. I mean, where did he get freaking distracted on Snake Way? What's going on? Oh man, so many freaking options on where to eat. I've been running all day. Let's see here. Well, I guess I could go for a mocha frappuccino at Mickey D's. Then again, though, I haven't really slept in a while. I guess I could go for a venti latte over at Starbucks. You know, once again, though, I actually could just go for a whole wholesome dinner at Haas's. That's a really tough call for me. I don't know what to do here. So, we cut back over to Gremmy to see what he's been going on, and this meteor is actually falling remarkably slow. Maybe the Seki barrier did a little bit, you know, something to slow it down. Maybe it's just Gremmy doing, like, the dramatic cinematic timing. He's, like, doing the slow motion, just like, oh yeah, it's coming down, but I want you guys to all realize exactly how fucked you are before it crushes you. And he's standing there, and he's just like, it's basically pointless, Kenpachi. There's nothing you can do to stop this, even if by some miracle, and I think he even says, this is a hypothesis, this is just an example, this is not me imagining it, but on the off chance, just as an example, if you were able to kill me, it wouldn't matter, because even if you did kill me, the meteor would still exist. So that's a little interesting thing about his power we didn't really know. That's really basically the only additional piece of information we get this entire chapter, because honestly, this chapter was basically Kubo's wet dream. It really was. You know, Kubo likes awesome fight scenes, and he likes drawing the big, vibrant, you know, panels that have little to no color, just like mostly white or mostly black, and very freaking intense and vibrant. This is his wet dream chapter, because that's mostly all it is. It's just in every panel, him trying to, like, to work in this massive meteor in the background. So we get another panel of Gremmy injecting some good, hot, and creamy creepiness into this chapter. This is what it means to be at one's wit's end. Zaraki Kenpachi. And then Zaraki strikes his own creepy-ass pose, but it kind of transcends the creepy level and just makes me... First off, it made me laugh. I don't know if anyone else got that impression from seeing this, you know, first thing, but this just made me laugh. This made me just be like, this is Kenpachi's Christmas card. It really would be. This is the thing he would put on it, you know? So he's just being elated right now that he's staring down like this awesome challenge. He's like, well, I've never cut up a meteor before. This actually might be a lot of fun right now. And he's just like, me at my wit's end? The way I see it, you've already run out of tricks, little man. Well, yeah, I can kind of understand that. I mean, he's been up to this point, he's just been doing some tricks with the water and the ground and summoning a bunch of artillery to bombard Kenpachi, but once you summon a giant asteroid... Okay, sorry, I know asteroids aren't the same thing as meteorites, but I've been using meteorite too much in this video, so I decided to switch it over for some little thesaurus action, just for some versatility. Okay? Okay, cool. Asteroid to literally come down and smush everybody. That's kind of your end game. Subtlety kind of bit the bucket at this point. I really can't see anywhere else you could up the ante from that. Kenpachi just jumps into the air and, oh my god, Kubo, I know you jizzed at that panel. I know that the second you finish drawing that and you pan back and you look at it, that your majesty at that panel of just sheer whiteness with that little speck of black where Kenpachi is, I know you creamed yourself. It's okay. It's understandable. I almost made it too. But, dude, you need some help. You need some help with the, you know, just Just saying, we all have problems, okay? Anyway, also on the page is the release command for Kenpachi's Nozarashi. The manga Panda translation referred to it as swallow, and the manga stream, which we're reading right here, refers to it as drink. I like the term swallow better. Okay, make your funny jokes. I said swallow, funny. No, I like it more just for about what we're gonna see. Drink has the same effect, but it's just more, it's just more impactful with the term swallow. We'll get to that in a second. We get another full-page spread with Nozarashi being released by Kenpachi. Epic close-up. We cut back down to Yachiru, who's on the ground, who's having a flashback to when she first met Zaraki in the woods, you know, and she's like, you know, how she was like playing with Zaraki's sword. You know, Zaraki just finished, you know, cutting a bunch of mofos up, and he has his sword all covered in blood, and Yachiru's feeling it, just like, he's like, oh, don't you have a name, little girl? Yeah, neither do I. Yet another full-page spread, followed by, boom, just boom. We don't really get to see what happens right away. It's just the meteor behind Gremmy, just poof, gone, out of existence, incineration, combustion. I don't know what the hell happened. Really? I mean, at first I just thought the whole thing got wiped out of existence, like it got ripped into a black hole or something, and like, you know, like freaking Kamui, and just gone. But we can still see like flaming rocks falling down from the sky, so I'm gonna assume whatever attack he did just blew the whole damn thing up, or just erased it, and now all that's left is just the couple of fragments that broke off in the middle of like crashing into the atmosphere. Does the Soul Society have an atmosphere? I would imagine it would. They're breathing something that has to maybe have a breathable atmosphere, but then again, that's bringing space into it, and I'm fairly certain there's no outer space in the Soul Society. The meteorite was just something that Gremmy just conjured out of nothingness, so, you know, whatever. I'm just assuming that whatever attack he did, it got rid of like 99% of the damn meteorite, and the only thing that was left was just the flaming rocks, okay? So Gremmy's looking on, freaking astonished at this, just like, dude, okay, I don't know where to go for this. You really don't, because the next page, final panel of the chapter, holy damn, that is cool. I mean, probably the Naruto chapter is going to take the cake this week because of the whole, you know, Naruto going Sage of Six Paths. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I mean, spiky-haired orange ninja going Six Paths, and Squall McEmo Heart going, you know, Spiral Eye Attack. But, you know, this is going to be a close second, because this has just been something we've been expecting for so long. All right, so thoughts on what exactly this sword is, because I got a bunch of emails like, is it his Bankai? Is it his Shikai? All right, I am 100% certain this is not his Bankai, because let me guarantee you, if Kubo was ever going to give Kenpachi a Bankai, I don't think he is, but if he ever was, the epic Bankai written in really distorted script would probably fill up half the page, alright? Just for the lead up into it. I can guarantee you that's not the Bankai. This is probably just what happened with probably like Renji's sword. You know how Renji's sword didn't take his real appearance, even though he did call the name, it wasn't the right name, or it was only the half a name, or with Yumachika's, he was calling it the wrong name. So they can take different appearances based on what you call it, or based on what you don't call it. Kenpachi's sword has always been in kind of the Shikai state, because he just had so much Ryatsu it couldn't be sealed. But just because it's been released doesn't mean it has to take its true form. Maybe it's just because, you know, it's like a halfway point, just kind of like with Yumachika's, how it always takes that, you know, the halfway appearance with the swords, when its real appearance is kind of like ethereal. You know, it's not really like that. So now we have the true Shikai appearance of Kenpachi Zaraki's Zanpakuto, which takes the place of a massive freaking meat cleaver, you know, with a tassel at the end of it. And once again, we don't really know what happens to the meteorite. This chapter has been really freaking short, just in the sense that you could probably remove 15, 16 pages out of this 18-page chapter, because there's like no information that we really needed. Most of it's just everybody staring up like drop jaw at watching the meteor, and you know, we got to learn that Gremmy, you know, even if Gremmy dies, his constructs are still very much real. They're still going to stay behind after his death. But really, that's the only main piece of exposition we got this entire chapter. Everything else could be cut out. Really, I just think this panel would have been better suited at the very end of last chapter. Like he says, Nozarashi, and then the last panel is this from last chapter, and then it cuts back to this you know, this week, and then we have Kenpachi doing the epic slash, and maybe more elaborating on exactly what he did to destroy the meteorite. Because we're still as much as clueless from last chapter what his Shikai ability is as now. I mean, from the release command swallow, I can assume that maybe it's like ripping into a different reality or just completely erasing it. because, I mean, other than that, it just makes a big boom. This calls to mind, it's not canon, but it just calls to mind for me, there's a Bleach video game, there's actually a couple, actually, where Kenpachi Zaraki's sword, it doesn't have a special ability, but, like, whenever you swipe, it, like, leaves, like, a dimensional rift, you know, like, to cause, like, extra damage to the opponent. Like, you do a swipe, and then, like, the sword swing actually leaves a tangible field, which, like, does more damage, like, combos to your opponent. Now, that was only in, like, a couple Bleach games, and it's just a game, it doesn't mean anything. Kubo had nothing to do with the design on it, but, you know, that's just an idea. You know, he eviscerated a meteor. I don't even know where to go from this. You know, this has gotten so ridiculous, I don't even know where to go. So, leave your comments below. What did you think of this chapter? I hope the fandom doesn't explode. I hope I try to contain it as best as I could. Not really a lot to talk about, just mostly everybody freaking, like flipping their shit over Meteor, and Hashwald freaking out, and Yuha just being stoic, and then, some Kenpachi epic sword release. That's all I got. Yeah, man. I need to... I don't know. I need to go lift some weights or something. I'm feeling the testosterone vibrating from the panel. I need to go do something. I'm just gonna... Ooh, yeah! Signing out!
I can feel it.